Hey everyone, good to see you. Today is Wednesday, 7 o'clock Colorado time. Boulder, Colorado. Love it. And let me tag some friends here and see if we can get other people, new people coming on in. 1 second here. Uno momento. Almost done. A couple more. Betty, Leo, Lindsay there, Kira. All right. Getting people to come on in. And let me see here. A couple more little spaces here. One moment. There we go. Love it. All right. We have, hey, how you doing, Lynn? Thanks a lot. Patty, yay, yay. Facebook has made some major changes to their look. Okay, I haven't even noticed that. I haven't seen that or don't even know what you're talking about. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, and is anything going to be affecting us, Lynn? I wonder. Hey, Bobby, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Getting a good group of people. Wow, love it. And hey, Christina, hey. All right, I just tagged you, Christina. And so there's going to be a little bit of a delay in what I say and what shows up on my screen and stuff like that. And I don't know how much a delay on your part. It's going to be about 7 seconds or 8 seconds, which is a long time, really, to varying degrees. Hey, Diana, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, everyone. All right. Well, today is 7 p.m. Boulder time. And yeah, some people are looking for the classic look for Facebook. I don't notice much difference on mine, to be candid. So this is awesome, though, that, as long as people can get in, that's all that matters. Lindsay, hey, good to see you here. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. And today is, let's see, July 8th. Oh my God. And that's awesome. Time's traveling too fast. And it's not allowing me to go anywhere with what's happening in the world and stuff. So a lot of restrictions. So we're doing everything internet. And I'm getting a lot further reach around the world with the internet, which is really neat. Through appointments and from various countries, and it's kind of cool. I just love it. So, let's see here. We got a good group. This is nice. All right. Firstly, Lynn, my assistant, my help, my putter together, will be posting some stuff, information on the comments, and things that I'll be talking about just for the first couple minutes. And it was hot here today in Boulder. It was something like almost 100 degrees feel-like temperature, and it's going to get a little bit warmer than that over the next several days. But Phoenix is going through it, and yay, Lindsay, yay, I love it. And so she'll be helping out, posting some things and comments about the information, etc., that will be available. I'll also let you know that as most people here do know, I do work with people in appointments, either through telephone or Zoom or through FaceTime. And whether it be working with spiritual healing in aches, pains, chronic situations, discomforts, and even some emotional situations. And at times I'll be able to see the influences of your loved ones or other people that might have caused your situation, whether it be past. Hey, Elvie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. That these people may have passed or are still around or whatever. Thanks, Lynn. I really appreciate that. Yeah, please. Is there any way you can get Elvie in, Lynn? Hopefully so. Let me go here for a second. It might cut this off. There you go. list of events, go to newsletter. Yes, that's for the other. Let me see here. I apologize for cutting people off. There we go. She's coming in. I added her. Yes. And hi. All right. So you can um, uh, do the appointments, whether it be, as I said, aching or chronic situations, disease or injuries or whatever. And I will do everything I can to help you. Um, and the appointments are either Zoom or FaceTime or telephone. So please do take advantage of these if you do have the opportunity. And there's also live workshops, the courses that are online that you can purchase. Some people can't make the exact time or the day, and they'll still be available if you purchase it. And there's a lot of free stuff that's being offered. Everything's mentioned as Lynn put up the website and the newsletter if you get that, if you sign up for that too. And there'll be mini series that are free classes. I just gave one on with working with your imagination. And there's a healing circle that's free, that's open to the public every other week. That'll be online on this site as well, on spiritual healing with Mark Ehrlichs. And there's also the gathering, which is this every week. And we seem to be pretty diehard in this. And there might be sometimes in the future that we won't be able to make it because, or I won't be able to because of travel or whatever, and other events. At the end of this, during this, what I'll do is I'll give a little bit of dialogue about some stuff. I'll answer questions that people have that they've pre-written in, either to the website or they'll be posting it on Facebook for me to answer under the gathering advertisement that Lynn put out. And then also there's at the very end a short meditation. And I will be working with a couple people during this event of the gathering every week. It's not the healing circle where I'm working with most everyone, or I try to work with everyone. It's just a couple people. And sometimes I might, again, see something, a causal event, or it might be someone, a loved one, or whatever. I don't know if I should see something. It's always spontaneity of the spirit. And that's what I pretty much go by. Spiritual Matters with Mark Ehrlichs, the Facebook page, will be going extinct next month. We're going to be eliminating that. It's just too confusing and too much. And so we're going to keep just plain Mark Ehrlichs public page, and we're going to keep the Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlichs as our community page. And there's going to be a lot more participation on everyone's part in the Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlichs page. So if you aren't signed up for that, please go to Facebook, and if you want to have Facebook, and just do that. And I'll accept you. You have to be accepted first, and I'll gladly accept you. Let's see. Do sign up for the newsletter if you have the opportunity. And let me see. I don't know of anything else. If I'm missing anything, Lynn, I'm trying to think here. I don't know. All right. In any case, let me see if I'm stuck here. Oh, yeah, I am stuck. Oh, my God. Okay. Diane Seiko. Hey, how you doing? Heather, my friend. Oh, my God. Good to see y'all. And let's see who else is. Wendy is here. And Elvie, yay. I'm happy you're here, Elvie. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And thanks for joining the group. I really appreciate that. So we got a good number of people in the group, and it's going to be growing over the next couple of months. I'm praying exponentially so that people can enjoy what's being written, what's being expressed by other people, myself. In the meantime, I want to start, I've been filling it in with my stuff, and people that have received healings or stories or allegories or koans, as they call them. And I'll be putting more of that out until people start putting stuff out as well of things. And so it is open to everyone, and so we'll just take it from there, see what happens with it, how it grows and develops. And I want everyone here to grow and develop as much as I do want myself to as well. So as you do, I do, and as I do, you do. And that's just the way it works. So my friend Kathy, She asked me a question here. I wrote a poem and was searching for the words to come that would fit the poem. All of a sudden, the words for the next line came magically out of thin air. Yes. What word would you give to those experiences when things come to us like that, as she's expressing? I think you said it was in my mini workshop that I wrote about Thomas Edison, and the ideas came out of the thin air in one of his quotes. Thank you, Mark. The word I would give to it is intuition. But we're also using our imagination, knowing that we're open to the intuition as well. And so it's like a magical world that we're open to when we're doing the meditations or the prayer, or we're doing contemplation, or any of those dynamics. It's a part of our lives to do those things. And so the world of information of things is actually shared with us, and we can see it or hear it, but we hear and see through our knowing. And by wondering, or by prayer, or by meditation, or even contemplation, much of this is the listening to the guidances and the directions within, or even consequentially, an angelic may share something with us at times, and that's happened many, many a time. For anything that we're curious about or would like to know about, even if it isn't a question, we can ask a question, or we can make a statement and get an elaboration on the statement, or get an answer to the question. It's available to us if it pertains to our life or another's that we might be truly concerned for. And so these things are available to us. And the more we practice this, the greater the ability to have that happen, more purposefully happens, and we can definitely get answers. So we all have the ability and availability to imagination in witnessing what might be available to us, or our perceptions of understandings that are being shared with us. We all have the availability of that, except that most of our lives, we've put it aside for what we call reality. But regardless, it's still there, and not any less. It's just put aside. We all have the ability for that and availability. When we kind of come out of our world of reality, which is this world which is so concerned about, which our lives revolve around. I hope that makes sense, people, everyone, all my peeps. So, and if it doesn't, if you have any question about that, please write it out. And if I can see it, I'll, definitely go to it and answer. So let me see if I can refresh this page here and see if I can pick up on this group. There we are. Yay! All right, now what I want to do, I want to see, all right, if I can get any vision on this darn thing here. No, I can't. Darn it. All right, in any case. Sue, my friend, she wrote, let me see if there's any more in here. Nope, I guess not. Okay, good. Sue, my friend, she wrote, the mini talk on imagination was great. That was a mini workshop that I just gave yesterday. When I picture sight and inner sight, or conscious and unconscious, or little self and big self, am I wondering about knowingness, intuition, and divinity? I'll be listening to the replay. Thank you. Well, my answer is, well, first, hi, Sue, and it's good to have you here on the replay when you do play it. And when you do, put on the replay in the comment box, #replay. And on this one, if you all can put in the comment box, hashtag you rock. I love it. And Google will pick up on the analytics of it and hopefully kick me a little bit higher in the ratings. That would be appreciated. So again, hi Sue. So when we try to put pictures to things, well, let me read the question again. The mini talk on imagination was great. When I picture sight and inner sight, and this is what I was talking about, consciousness or unconsciousness, or little self and self, am I wondering about knowingness, intuition, and divinity? And uh, so I think that what it is when we try to put pictures to things and what we're trying to figure out, then we're also adhering to limitations in our lives. And this is my answer to that. And the limitations kind of cut us off from further experience because we're trying to delineate and trying to identify with a picture and not the pieces that make up the picture, the whole picture of what's really real. Sure, there's guidelines, but when we try to put a picture uh, with which to make each piece, and we're trying to picture those pieces to make each piece, then the whole picture is what we expect. It's the idea that the picture is forming and is also becoming more whole. And it's not only for right then, hey Shirley, thanks for being here. And it's not only for right then, but uh, it even gets more as we go on with it, and it develops even greater and greater and greater. It's just like doing an exercise. You can have a spiritual exercise, and you can, you get a concept about it, a conceptual, but you don't formulate it into a definite uh, pattern, form, or shape, and you let it develop into words or sights through your knowing. It develops, it grows, and that's what how our minds are developed by that divinity is to allow that to happen. But what we do living in our real world is we want to box everything in. We want to box God in what we call God, and so that we can understand it to control it. Otherwise, why else would we not do that except for that control issue or being controlled, which is another way of controlling. And so we have this, I want to make up a new word, freeity within us. And as we're experiencing this in our lives, there's no limitation. There's no delineation. Sure, there's rules to follow in not only the physical world and or the spiritual world, but in the spiritual world, we're following with the rules of the laws of creation. And they're innate within us. We just automatically know what to do. We cannot stop creation. We cannot change creation uh, in humanity. It's just not possible. And so, and same with the laws of creation as well. Mariko, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. And so the idea that the picture is always forming and is always becoming more whole, that's what's important, and even more perfect than we could have even imagined. And so that's what we're about, not to dissect pieces to try to understand them. So, good questions, good questions. Christina, I want to ask you also, Christina, how is Steve? I hope he's doing well. Good morning. What do you mean, good morning, Mariko? It's it's 7:30 p.m. almost here. So you're in Japan, though. You're in Japan. So, all right. So, Christina, please, if you can tell me how Steve is doing. That'd be great. I'd appreciate that. So, um, and Patty, I'm curious about how you're doing with your jaw. I'd really like to know um, if you can. Hey, Bebop, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. Oh, oh, good. Thank you. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Christina. Thank you. And so let's see here. Uh, my friend Diana, she wrote, oh boy, here. Doreen Virtue, uh, a well-known psychic, angel card developer, and reader teacher, has now denounced uh, the New Age thought and tools as demonic and not from Jesus or God. She said spirit guides and demonic entities, and she realizes now that she was deceived by them. She said you can't call on angels to help you, and she has turned to the Bible as her only guide. Um, yeah, I heard about that as well, um, and that's fine, and it's okay. My impression, and please, it's not a judgment, and I won't go to that judgment place with people. Uh, that's conscious with me in any way. 99% of the time, except when I'm in a car driving and someone's in front of me and I start yelling at them and they're doing something crazy. So, and I do that too. So, but I get over it right away. So, so yes, I'm familiar with her going that route as well, Diane. My impression, again, it's not a judgmental one, and I just believe that people go through changes in life, and that's fine, as we all do, to varying degrees, and for reasons, and at varying times. And they, these changes can be subtle or dramatic. And it's like I tell everyone: show me the perfect person, and I'll follow him anywhere. Actually, didn't Jesus also call upon the angelics a couple times? And didn't Mary have experiences with the angelics at times as well? So sometimes, there's various organized religions that started because they wanted to put their own twist or truth on things. And that's fine. Uh, but people believe in something which is important for anyone to grow, the actual willingness to believe in something. And that's all that really matters. Um, and it's difficult to find any fault except if it purposely harms someone. So I don't get bent out of shape. I don't follow people necessarily. As I said, show me the perfect person and I'll follow them anywhere. So, people have a tendency to change their places of worship, and sometimes often. It's just a natural thing. I know of many, many, many people that have done that, and those are the only ones that I know of, people that I know. But it's always for the purpose of finding something out, known or unbeknownst to them. And people have a tendency to quit one place because they find a flaw as their reason. Whether someone dislikes them, or the pastor said something, or the rabbi said something, or it's just not. They don't think people are becoming friendly with them, so they'll go to another place, and that's a little more conducive, hopefully. But in the meantime, they had to go to that place in order to develop to get to that place, and then they find another place as they keep on growing and growing and growing. I know Doreen has influenced since I knew her in the 60s, the late 60s, early 70s, and she helped a lot of people. So there's no incorrect about that. She even helped people find the godliness within, which is quite awesome. And so everything's okay. Everything works out to varying degrees. And she also wrote, she says the law of attraction first appeared in a book by occultist Helena Blavatsky in 1877, true, and that the Abraham is channeled by Esther Hicks is a group of demons. Well, the nation was built on occultism and metaphysics, and philosophy and understandings and everything else. That's where we get a lot of our lives, patterns and habits from, based upon those concepts. We live it every day, unbeknownst to us. It's just hidden in what we call reality. And maybe she says these things because she's also adhering to what others in her group believe. I don't know. I've met many people like this in life, since the 60s, uh, literally many. And life goes on, and often people change their houses of worship and go into something a little bit different, or they don't get as hardcore or whatever, and that's fine. And so she's, let's see, she also wrote, I've been studying A Course in Miracles for several months now. And hey, Liz, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And so she's wrote, I've been studying A Course in Miracles for several months now, and it's supposedly an inner dictation from Jesus, according to the people who wrote it down. Uh, I also read the aggregation material, which he channeled from the Akashic Records. My question is, what is your understanding of angels and spirits and guides, spirit guides, and inner voices? And well, in my opinion, and this is the world according to Garth Mark, for over the many, and it's not to be identified with you or trying to lay a trip on you or anything else. This is my personal experiences. Everyone has theirs, whether they're conscious or unconscious of it. It's still within them, whether they're aware of it or not. So over the many 47 years that I've been in this ball game of so-called spirituality, uh, I've had numerous uh, events that I could describe with experiences of these things. Numerous, thousands and thousands and thousands. And after a while, you have the opportunity, in my experience, that you have the opportunity to discern, and that's how we learn through what's real in your world and what's not. And also knowing what has been important for me, because I'm really, in a sense, subjective to um, uh, subjectively objective, if there is such a term. I am subjected to spiritual experience of those natures. And so I've had to learn to become objective with it. And in order to do that, um, I also have learned to, and I was taught in my order to challenge things. So, and it's also knowing how to challenge. And even if it's the greatest of all spiritual experiences or revelations, I still challenge it. I don't believe it until I challenge it. I don't care how revelatory it was. I don't care how magnificent it was. I don't care how life changing it was. I still challenge it. And what I do in the challenge is I'll say very simply, show me more or tell me more, and whatever is applicable. And if it's truly real, first I'll always say to it, right before I say show me more or tell me more, the first thing I do is I'll say stand in the light. I don't care how great it is. I don't care if it's levitating. I don't care if it's disappearing. I don't care what it is. I'll say stand in the light. And it comes forth from me in an authority that's coming forth. So if it's real, it'll show me more. If it's real, it'll tell me more. And it'll make it even more simpler in a lot more information. So you're gaining something out of it. You're developing from it because you're open to it and you're allowing it to express itself. And so then, you know, uh,
when you're challenging it, just try to make it a point to do that. Try to make that a religion in challenging whatever you get and watch what happens. And if it's not real, it'll fizzle away. It'll just go. It can't exist in the light that you're telling it to stand in. When you flick on a switch, what happened to, the darkness and all the shadows in the room? They dissipate. They go away. And it's the same thing as part of her question. How does one discern what is from God and protect yourself from negative energies and or entities parading as godly? And that's my answer. It can't stand in the light. There's nothing to be afraid of. And what I tell people often in workshops is, you don't have to worry about the cooties. And, as long as you know there's light, that's all that matters. And you're open to it, and it will take care of things for you. You don't have to do this, or you don't have to ring bells, or you don't have to go to sleep, or wash your hands, or whatever. Uh, you know, you just know that there's light, and no darkness, no shadow can stand in the light. That's all that matters. There's no way. You don't have to pretend you're a screen and let the thing go through you or whatever. That's someone else's thinking. That's someone else's uh, needing to do something to help people be like them. I don't know. I don't get into that. It's not my job, not my style to be that way. So uh, and you don't have to worry about things in my perception. And so, and I think that's an awesome, awesome question. And I do teach these things though in my classes, and I can't even really begin to get more into it. So, uh, any case, please, is there someone here uh, that would like me to? Let me go over here and try to see if I can find someone in this whole dialogue here. There's a lot of people. This is good. Shirley, is there any one thing that I can work with you with? Hi, Maureen. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. Please, is there any one thing that I can work with on your body? No emotional stuff for anyone, please. And I just want to be able to work with one thing, and we'll take it from there and see if something happens. Now, when I work with people, uh, it's through my uh, ability to actually have my hands there. And, and some people experience it, and some don't. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. God doesn't care. And so it just knows. And so I let it know through me, which is all that it wants to do in its expression. And that's what we are striving for in our lives. And so this is the way the ball rolls. And some people may experience things immediately, and other people are developing into the experience. So they may experience it in 5 minutes, what's happened with them, or as I tell people that come to the healing circles and stuff, as soon as you walk out the door, or walking down the street 2 weeks or 2 months later and say, oh my God, when did this leave me? If that should be the case. And I let people tell me what's happened with them. I won't tell you that you're healed. Let someone else do that. That's okay if they can do that. That's fantastic. It's not my style. I like to go for a fuller, deeper effect in the person's life. And so I do it my way, which is more conducive for me and for people that want me to work with them. So, in any case, please, Shirley, is there anything you would like me to work with one thing? Or let's see who else is here. Kathy or Mariko in Japan. Distance is not a challenge in God. Or Christina, or oh my God, Lynn, or I can't see all the people. God. All right. Please, anyone, anything I can talk about or work with someone, or Diana, please, anything there you would like me to work with. And Diana, I did answer your questions. I don't know if you were on when I did. So please do do the replay. Shirley, yes, I think I have a log jam in my lower abdomen. I love the term log jam because uh, a lot of people say, "Oh, we got blockages," and if you had a blockage in your arm, the rest of the arm would fall off because it wouldn't get any life force in it, and it would shrivel up. If we had a blockage in our heart, we'd be dead. If we had a blockage in our neck, we'd be crippled. So they're log jams. There's still life force flowing through. It's just that now they're a little, hey, Wendy, okay, sinuses after this. So, but they're little log jams, because of life, of things, of environment, of food, of the way we take care of ourselves or whatever, or overdoing things or worrying about things or stress or strain or anxiety, fear. All these things contribute to those things. So use a roto-rooter. I would like one time too, sometimes. All right, so with the log jam in the lower abdominal, and so, all right, and all I request from you is you just sit back. You don't know what I'm doing, which makes it even greater, and that's more purposeful. So you're going to wonder, and so just tell me if you sense something happening and if there's a change, and be candid with me, please, in the log jammed abdominal cavity. I feel life force flowing through, and so um, let's see what happens with that. Let's see what happens with that. All right, and let me do one more little thing here. And also you may get a little gurgling, if not sooner than later. And so you'll know. So I saw that. And so we'll see what happens. All right, good, good, good. Wendy Oliver, sinuses. All right. Um, let me see here. And please, Wendy, do keep me updated while we're doing this or after, please, in what you might or might not be experiencing. But don't be disheartened and be lighthearted because something will change, if not immediate. Um, yes, challenging it is really important, Diana. It's very important with anything. Instead of just taking it for granted and having the momentary spiritual experience that, yeah, there you go, gurgling. I love it. I saw that coming. So, all right, that's going to help to ease. Uh, it's almost like a spasm in my perspective. I don't know anything medical, but it's like a spasm in my perspective. And so, all right, so let's get to the, what is that? Let me see here. The sinuses for Wendy. Also, there's with Wendy, there's a uh, it was um, like a log jam in head that was like uh, a stuffiness up here, and it might be construed as the mind or whatever. And so I worked with that as well. Let's see if that doesn't uh, give you a sense of like a draining. And we'll see. We'll see. And hopefully it will. And please keep in mind, I stay clear from, telling anyone they're healed or diagnosing or prescribing or anything like that. I don't do that kind of stuff. So, all right. Um, with the Roto-Rooter. All right, let me get the Roto-Rooter, Christina. I love it. I want to start one big Roto-Rooter. My perception also is mostly the little log jams on the your right, my left. Also in the little lower abdominal area in there on the center and right. But it's a little bit higher. It's like above the navel to the side to your right. Like if you were to press in there, it might be tender. Let's see how that helps you as well, Christina. Let's see. Okay. And thank you so much for having me work with you. And I did the Roto-Rooter. I love it. That's what I used to call it. And people in Chicago used to call it the Healing Circle. They're all on the Roto-Rooter. Hey, Stephen Howard. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. And yes, lots of energy. Good, good, good. And uh, yes, gurgling, and I've seen that. Bebop. Yay! My brain or my spine? You decide. I would love Bebop to work with your brain because I feel that sometimes we have birthing experiences that were a little more traumatic for us than, say, with other people. And so, or with a lot of people. Some people have birthing experiences that might have been traumatic, and or maybe something happened soon after the birthing experience where the skull plates might have been skewed a millimeter, centimeter, less or more. And but it affects us in our lives and in our thinking processes, in the neurology, the biology, just all kinds of things. Everything just one big organism within us. So everything affects everything. So what I'm going to do is I want to work with uh, the head, if you don't mind. And I don't know if you remember this. On this side of your head, which is your right, yeah, you're right. Uh, you smashed it. You at one time or another, and I can't see an age though. But it was smashed, and it might not have been too many years ago, and it hurt like all hell, and that might have contributed to back then of that birthing experience if you should have had that, and so, but it just irritated even more so. And sometimes it later in life it brings on fogginess, and it brings on unclarity, it brings on, you know, just all kinds of things. And that might be a causal for those things, as you might have had them. So, um, so I'm going to work a little bit more with that, please. And you may sense something moving inside. If you do, please let me know. I think that's so cool. There. All right. All right. Let me see here. Okay. It might have happened to you. Might have happened. So, um, and you may remember that, or you may not. May not. And maybe it wasn't as traumatic as you thought it was. So it was just a bypassing thing. But it was right up in here. Uh, my perception. It's usually correct, but it may not be. So no right or wrong, good or bad, not in the mind. It doesn't, the godliness, the living divinity, is not going to judge us. So either way. And that that's where it was in that eyebrow. Uh, excuse me, that might have been an effect of that, which also, um, who knows what. I don't want to get into a lot of stuff here. It's fine though. And we'll see what happens from that. And if things change from that, that's all that really matters. Everything else is just superfluous chatter. So, all right, good, good. And let's see here. Um, thank you. Please, Wendy, let me know. I really appreciate that. Uh, uh, thank you so much. I will be attuned to changes. Good. All right. And we'll notice them when we're not thinking about them. We'll realize things when we're not thinking about them. When we're wondering about things, we get perceptions. And also when, uh, you know, not only then, but we can even ask, you know, the divinity within to share with us in contemplation or meditation or prayer, to share with us about situations, but it'll show us things or tell us things or help us to experience things when we're prepared for it without forcing anything. It's gentle. It's always gentle. And it's, I know, that's the way we can take it, you know. And so that's when things happen. All right, let's go on here. Diana, the acid reflux is worse since the hysterectomy. I also have pain on my right side. Let me work with the acid reflux. You know, in my perception, I would think that it's going to um, even out. And I don't know when you had the hysterectomy. So I have no idea. So if you can let me know. But what I'd like to do is go to the pain on the right side. And tell me if you sense something happening, hon. I appreciate that. There. I felt the flow of life force moving through. June 1st, okay. So the surgical procedure that you had for the, whether it be less invasive one or invasive one, it still moved organs around, it moved intestines, whatever. And so that's what my perception of what the pain is about. And also the acid reflux, it hasn't had an opportunity yet to heal. Normally, uh, for the organs to find their place again and for you know, the tissue to find its place, and all the ligaments, or whatever, who knows what's in there, all these foreign objects to find their place again, it takes either generally between 6 months all the way up to 2 years. But we'll see if this doesn't quicken that to most immediately. And we'll see if that doesn't help that. I've had many people tell me that the doctors are just blown away because how quickly, you know, everything found its place again. So let me do one more thing here. Okay, okay. So, ah, Bebop, someone did punch, it was the eye by mistake, dancing with an elbow. Okay, all righty. So, do you know how long ago that was, Bebop? I'd really be curious because I mentioned that it was not too long ago, but it was not really young. And so, if you can tell me how long ago it was, that'd be great. I appreciate that. And um, so, let's see if there's anyone else. I think we got most everyone. And all right. So, in any case, I really want to thank everyone for being here. There's a real brief meditation I would like everyone to do if you want to, and I believe it's really empowering. And so it was over 10 years ago. Okay, all right. Thanks, Bebop. And that might have also moved just a millimeter or centimeter or something like that. It like created a bruise in you that the shock trauma wasn't over with yet. And so it didn't go into a full healing crisis. And that's why um, I wanted to work up in that area from here. I guess I did point to the eye from here to here. And so, hey, Jason, good to see you, my dear friend. Thanks for being here. So, um, uh, this will help that. This will help that. And my pleasure, my total pleasure. And so, let's see here. The meditation, I just want everyone, if they can, just to, sit back if you have the availability to do that and just close your eyes just for a moment or two in life and just relax and take a deep breath in through your nose, all the way down into the lowest part of your belly, in through your nose, and slowly and gently out through your mouth. Real slow motion, no hyperventilating, no fast breathing, just slowly and gently in through your nose and out through the mouth. And picture within you that nothing, just the concept, picture the concept, if you can, the identification of nothing can touch you, only your thinking. What that might mean. Nothing can touch you. Only your thinking. Nothing can really touch you. We only allow ourselves to be. But nothing can touch you. Not really. It's not possible. I hope you follow through with this and discover what that means. It'll keep leading into more and more and more. And I thank everyone for being here. It's just a total pleasure. And thank you so much. And I'll see you next week. And we'll do more. We'll talk about more. There'll be more questions. Please ask your questions ahead of time if you want. You don't have to wait until next week. And I'll save them up for the next. And I'm just honored that you're here. Thank you so much. Blessings to everyone here. Bye-bye.